In this episode of Toysbackzen, I'm going to be taking a look at this Wreckage and Tiger Paw toy that I just picked up. It's really cool, and there's a history to this figure. We're going to talk about that a little bit today. We're going to open this up and check it out, but also I'm going to show you the first version of this figure that came out and tell you the history of that. And I'm going to open this up too and take a look at it because this is one of my childhood figures and I haven't opened him up yet. And I'm excited to see what he is like. It's really cool, and I already picked up the retro version of Snow Serpent, and those are the only two figures I'm going to get in this wave. Pulling the bubble off of the card here, we can see that fantastic artwork. Looks really cool. And obviously there is some updates to the artwork. I do like these retro style figures. I like the fact that they come with stands. Usually the Cobra ones come with the Cobra symbol. Seems to me like he's got butterfly joints. Now this is an older figure. He's been out for a while. I just haven't had a chance to get him. So he's got butterfly joints there. All the things that you will see. He does have the upper leg swivel. He does have his ab crunch, which is nice. You can see that nice Cobra symbol on his chest. There's some extra detail here on his right wrist. You can see that there. Not really sure what that is. Maybe underwater radar or something like that, considering he is a diver. If you're familiar with the vintage figure, you know that he did come with some hoses, but this guy actually has a separate helmet, which on the vintage one he didn't come with a separate helmet, so that's cool. I do like how the visor is see-through, so you'll be able to see his eyes when he has it on, and these probably plug into his backpack. He's got a knife with a red handle. And here we can see his spear gun. The rope here on the back that you can put around his wrist is in like a mauve color. The spear itself is in a nice shiny gold, actually, really shiny. So that's really cool. I like that. I'm going to gear him up and we'll see what he looks like when he's ready for action. So as I was putting this together, I want to let you know that there are two different flippers here. I don't know if you can see that or not, but there is a left, there's an L on the bottom of this flipper, and there's a right, which is an R on the bottom of this flipper. When I had the retro style Snow Serpent figure, I thought for sure when I put his snowshoes on that on the bottom we would be able to plug him in to the stand, and there would be holes where the heel holes are in the snowshoes. And this is the case with this Cobra eel, which is awesome. But for some reason on the Snow Serpent, they didn't do that. So I think that this figure is pretty cool, and I really like everything that they did to him. They got the Cobra symbol and the red on his backpack there. The hoses go in. You've got the red handled knife on his left ankle there. The extra paint that they have on the weapon. And we've got that extra detail on his right wrist. So I think it's amazing. And you can really see through his goggles there. You can really see his eyes. It looks really, really good. And I like the gold on the top. It's weird how they put the Cobra symbol here. They could have brought it down just like a couple millimeters so that this part of his uniform didn't go over the Cobra head. Now I think that's a loose piece, and it is, but you know, it hangs over it. I guess if I push it up, it doesn't do that. So I guess you have to position it, but more than likely that will just droop back down over the Cobra. If they brought that down a couple millimeters, I think it would have looked much better, and they had the room to do it. And the nice thing about this figure is when you have the flippers on, he can stand on his own. You don't even need to use the stand that he comes with if you have the flippers on. And I'll always leave the flippers on this figure. I'll probably never take them off, which means I can use this for some other figures. So that's why I've been buying the retro style classified figures more often. But other than that, I think it's a cool figure. Like I said, I had him as a kid when it first came out. I remember seeing him on the pegs and I was like, what? I had to have it. And of course, he was in my pool all summer. Let's take a look at Wreckage and Tiger Paw next. Originally, the version 1 of Wreckage, he was a repaint of Firefly, which is obviously a Cobra Trooper. This is actually a G.I. Joe character, and obviously he is part of the Tiger Force faction. We've got some artwork here on the side. He is number 137, and if we look at the back, we can see all the stuff he comes with along with the Tiger Paw itself, and we can see some details of the Tiger Paw, obviously Tiger Force 2, and we have some artwork here on the side. And if you want one of these yourself, well, you can just click on that QR code. So first of all, let's talk about Wreckage and where he comes from. Now, this isn't the first time I've seen this figure before, and it's not the first time I've owned a Wreckage figure. This is the first time it's been in the classifieds though, and this is how I recognize him without his helmet, which is really cool helmet. I like it a lot. It's got that Tiger Force mouth on there and the tiger stripe. So that's really cool. So Wreckage came out first in 2003. You can see him right there. And this was a Tiger Force 5-pack, which was a Toys R Us exclusive. And I bought this in 2003 when it first came out. And I'm glad I did, because I've seen this figure without his accessories for at least $75 to $100 on eBay. And I don't know why. He should be complete before you pay that much money for him. And I also showed this figure in a Firefly video that I did with all my Fireflies in my collection, and I also added this. Even though this is not a Cobra Firefly, he is considered a G.I. Joe, just repainted to look like this. Now this figure was made as an homage to a figure called Sabretooth. This is a prototype intended for 1988, along with Ripcord and Wild Bill. Now, Ripcord and Wreckage was listed in this 1993 Hasbro Collector Guide, which was available as a mail-away from Hasbro. Wild Bill seen here in a 1991 European catalog as well. The 6 UK exclusive Tiger Force figures are seen here, looking at an up-close picture of Tiger Force Wild Bill piloting the Tiger Fly. You can see him here in the Tiger Force colors. And I love it when a toy company digs deep and makes rare and unproduced characters that we have never gotten before. They also made a 4-inch release of Wreckage. This was released as a 2015 convention exclusive. It was a Tiger Force versus Iron Grenadiers box set you can see here. So I hope that clears up perhaps why they decided to release this figure in the 6-inch classifieds. A lot of people wanted this figure, and they finally released it in 2003 and in 2015. And I think it's really cool that they decided to release it here in 2024 as a 6-inch classifieds figure. Now, I'm kind of on the fence of why they would do that, because there's some characters that I would really like to get that we haven't seen yet, like Sci-Fi and Blowtorch. I really like the detail on his face here. He does not have that detail on the 3 3/4 figure, and it's just a really, really cool look. He looks pretty mean. And he is obviously a repaint of version 2 of the Classifieds Firefly. You can see that here. He's just a repaint. It's all the same mold. You can see that he has a communication gadget there, like the vintage figure. It came with a walkie-talkie, and he's got his really nice gun here. It comes with a detachable silencer, a removable clip here. His knife fits in the back of his arm, which I couldn't find that, but finally I found it. He's got a pistol here that fits in a holster here, and he's got his backpack here with 2 mines. I believe these are mines that you clip on to the back, and here's a place here where you can put his gun, and then there's also a clip here for something else. This is probably a reuse of somebody else's backpack, and well, there's probably a reason for that, but he doesn't really need it. Now, for some reason, Hasbro has given us this Steel Brigade helmet over and over and over again, repainting it for whatever figure they decide to use it for. And I'm okay with that because I think it's one of the coolest helmets we've seen in G.I. Joe. And he looks really good with that. I think I will leave it on him. Here is a look at the completed and put together Tiger Force Tiger Paw. This is really cool. It looks a lot like the vintage one, but there are some differences. You had to put the tires on in the right direction. You can see that there is a certain way that you want the treads to go, and that was one thing they had to kind of figure out. Otherwise, it went together pretty easily. We've got the missiles here on the side. We've got the winch here in the front, along with a little bit of a bumper here. We've got our gun that it comes with, a double barrel gun, goes up and down and side to side. We have some nice detail on the control panel there with the handlebars protruding out from the sides of it. We do have our large gun here, which in the vintage one actually fit on the side. I don't mind it here, actually. It's kind of cool. You could even turn it this way. You could have the guy on the back. If there's a second figure on here, he or she could use it as a gun, or you could take it apart and turn it upside down and use that as a machine gun. We've got some bars here on the back. We've got some Tiger Force and G.I. Joe stickers on the back of the seat there. We can see that right here, Tiger Force, and the logo. There it is. I can show you here. There it is here with the American flag. We've got the Tiger Force decals on the front bumpers. We've also got some ATV and some white writing on the wheels here. We have some detail on the back where it says caution exhaust. So that's really cool. And I think that's about it. I'm not sure if I don't think anything opens or there's no control panels or anything on the bottom. It's kind of all you can see is like the screws and stuff like that on the bottom where it all fits together. He does have double knee joints, so let's see. We might need to have those double knee joints to get him to sit on this thing right. There we go. He's got the brake in one hand closed and the other one. So just like that, that looks really, really good. This also swivels side to side, up and down. There's also a hole here in the large machine gun. You could put a blast effect. Does this one have a hole? And this one also has two holes in the front too for blast effects, which we have lots of those now. If you've been collecting classifieds, they've given us lots of blast effects. It would be nice if they would have given us at least a couple with this, because you know, if you have a lot of vehicles and a lot of figures that you want to use for blast effects, you'll eventually run out with the ones that they give us. So I guess if you wanted to collect Wreckage because he is kind of a rare character, you pretty much have to get the ATV. And I'm trying to collect all of the sub teams as much as I can. So thanks for watching this episode of Toysbackzen. Now I know my look at the classified videos, they're not getting a lot of views, and well, that's okay with me. I want to just explore these toys, and for me, the hunt for the vintage stuff is my favorite thing about toy collecting. And I get a lot of satisfaction fixing the vintage toys and even making some of the modern toys maybe better than what they were when I took them out of the package. So please like and subscribe to this channel. Leave a comment down below. Let me know if you have these toys and let me know what you think of them. See you in the next episode. Bye.